Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Hey, here we go. I got you. 12.
Tight dog. Rush in.
Check.
Foles. And his first pass is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Geno Atkins, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack.
Pick. Go.
Switch. Check nickel.
Here's Foles. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. They go with Leonard Fournette, 3rd-year back from LSU. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 11 now. Foles. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Fournette. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On 2nd and a yard, Foles is going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized. Executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The kick by Lambeau is good. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points.
We spent so much time talking about the physical side of the game. How about the mental side? They just gave up a field goal, but they didn't get down at all. Big-time return. They're set up to try and at least tie the game up.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
44 is the mic. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic. Check, check. Bend it. Bend it.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. And if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
At the 49-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
59 mark, 59 mark. Check, 59. Check tight, check tight. Check tight.
Now Foles. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin him back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 6-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Wide. Heavy.
Here you go, 368.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
44 is the mic.
Regular.
All you get is a headache.
Dalton here from the gun. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17.
Let's go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Out to his left. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Carl Lawson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Wait! 2 by 2. Move!
Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Hands up! Lead!
Check, check.
I'm not ready. Hands up!
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
First down. First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, let's get in them holes.
And now to the air, Dalton. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On the delay, it's Mixon. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On second and a couple, Dalton. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Hands up! Lead!
44 to Mike. Watch your backer, watch your backer. He's mine, he's mine, he's mine. 44 to Mike, 44 to Mike. Check, check.
Hands up!
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Bullock's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Second and 10 now from the 27.
59, Mike to 59. All day, all day.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to go for a big... Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Second and 6. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's third and goal.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
Lead! 44. Here we go, here we go. Check, crunch, crunch, crunch.
Mixon will get it to start the second half. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Let's get it.
At the Jaguars' 49-yard line.
Lady! I got you, punk.
Regular.
44 is the mic. 44.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 47-yard line.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball. 6 guys, check 6 guys. Pick that.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Catch made. That's the rookie tight end, Josh Oliver.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Yeah, let's go.
It's just me and you. Watch the ship. Hey.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's got his tight end, Oliver. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Let's go.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field.
What we got?
Get off the field. Slam.
Protein spill.
Watch twist. Check.
They'll look to throw here. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Another try after the first down sack. Foles finds his tight end Oliver here outright. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
You got it.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. They'll drop to throw. Sharks got it left side. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. This from 54 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead stretches to 9. It's now 12-3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side. I
would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Hey, watch this.
Rager. We got double up.
Throwing again. Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D.
Bravo.
44's Mike. Check, check. Defense wins championships, baby.
Snap came at 1. Now here's Dalton. And the pressure gets to him again. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Brian Anger now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Fielded at the 20. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. To throw on 2nd and 6, Foles. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards there and a first down.
First down, Jaguars.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Foles will try and set up the screen. It's complete. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Good. 180. 1-1. Yes.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy?
2nd and 14. Open man right side is Sharp. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. A shotgun give to Fournette. He finds some open field here. Touchdown, Jaguars. Leonard Fournette, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on 3rd down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Here's Dalton. He's got his man here. It's Green. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now, that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
Who was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
You better bring. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring.
Now Leonard Fournette. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
He's going to let this go deep for Lee. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 7-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe he'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let him bleed the game out that way.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Dalton to his big target, Eifert for the Cincinnati first.
Watch the twist. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Play action here with Dalton. Airing one out for Boyd. And got his man complete. That one good for 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
368! Hey! 2 by 2. Move. Hands up.
Dalton now to pass. Caught. Eifert over the middle. 16 yards on the play as they try to chip away at this 16-point deficit.
It's now 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try to pass on 4th down. Dalton. Now this is brought in by Pryor. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 12-yard line.
On 2nd down and 4, Dalton. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
To throw here, Dalton, and that one is caught. So they convert here, and don't look now, but this one's back to a 1-score game. So here we go. They'll need the recovery, obviously, then a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. Oh, and the Bengals look like they got it back. They did. Bengal football. So they've accomplished half the mission, Charles. They get the onside kick. They do need a touchdown here, but they've got some time to do it.
In the excitement, there's no need to press. Plenty of time. They have the opportunity. Now they just need to execute and finalize things.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try to cut down the length of the drive.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
368.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
So now Dalton. The 20. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. To the end zone, no flags, it's a touchdown, and now a 2-point conversion, and we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go. So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
44. There you go.
44. Let's get the ball.
2 by 2. No. X3. 218. Chopper.
They'll try and run it in. And he will get in. The 2-point conversion is good. And we may be on our way to overtime. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 26-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that.
Tempo.
Rip right. 36.
Now Foles is going to let this go deep for Lee. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 8-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They'd like to avoid overtime here, so maybe they can work the sidelines, but then defensively, how do they adjust to that if they do work the sideline?
It's the old leverage game, and we usually talk about leverage at the line of scrimmage, right? Who's going to win with the low blocking and everything that goes along with that. But in this case, you're trying as a defender to leverage them towards the middle of the field, not let them get to the sidelines and try and tackle them inbounds in order to run the clock out.
Chess match here late.
52, 93, 44. There you go. That's up.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there, too. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. He's going to let this go deep for Lee. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you. Tried to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Jaguars, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.